Hello everybody, today I'm going to do a 2-year review on my Allen Edmonds McAllisters. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to strip the finish off, and you see this burnishing effect on the toe. I'm going to increase that to, other parts of the shoe. I'm going to darken the whole shoe with stain, and part of the reason I want to do that is it's so easy to scratch off the dark, and it's a pain in the butt to keep this, keep that patina, that darkening effect even, because of that. So, all right, let's go. Hello everybody, it's Robert Powers.
4.5 out of 5. My shoe collection.
These are made of shell cordovan. Can you tell the difference? Now here they are finished up.
I'm not a professional. Look how tight this is though.
Very clearly here, I just cut the thread in half.
Here it goes.
Here they are completely finished up. All right, now first let me show you what I'm kind of going after. If you can see it, I'm trying to stay on camera. I want to get it closer to that darker color, more of a Merlot color versus the light oxblood that it is. I just want to darken it, and I like that, Merlot closer to the purple end rather than the brown end of the spectrum. And then probably, I don't know as dramatic as that, but I'm also going to follow some of the contour lines of the shoe. I want to keep the toe dark. I think this is too much of a difference. In other words, I think the toe is too dark right now, so I don't want it to be as distinct of a difference, and I'm also going to follow some of the broguing on the shoe. So the first step here is going to be basically to remove the laces, strip the shoes down. I'm going to start with the Saphir Renomat. I don't know, I might use acetone as well. Then I'm going to put the color on. I'm going to airbrush it on using the Saphir, I'm sorry, not the Saphir, the Fiebings dye. All right, so let's get this thing started. So before I get into the stripping of the shoes down and re-dyeing them, I purchased these shoes in September of 2017, and you can see, I guess this would now be the old logo, but they do have that Allen Edmonds logo, with the 1922 badge on it in line. This is the McAllister, so this would be a wingtip, okay, Oxford. Oxford is a closed lacing system. You're also going to hear this called a full brogue, and you can, I don't know if you can still really see it, but there we go, yep, McAllister, right? And I paid, I want to say $245 for these. These were first quality, not a factory second. And you can see that I have put Goodyear protective half soles on them. Of course, 360-degree Goodyear welted shoe. I'm not going to go into all the details. I've done a review of this shoe when it was fairly new, almost brand new. I'll link that video below. I've done a 1-year review, and so now it is October of 2019 when I'm filming this. So that means I've had these shoes now for a full 2 years. I would say that I wear these probably on average about once a week, sometimes more, sometimes less. So I could probably say with pretty good confidence that I've worn these shoes probably at least 100 times. And I want you to take a look at that vamp. Now right now, it has no shoe tree in it, right? When you get a high quality dress shoe, look at this, it's amazing. I mean, I cannot honestly tell you that the leather looks any different than it did a year ago, or even a year and a half ago. I've also have a pair of Allen Edmonds McNeils. Between these and the McNeils, they're definitely the most comfortable shoes I own. I own about 18 pairs of shoes right now. I don't know, I'd have to count how many, 9 or 10 of them I think are Allen Edmonds. Some of them, one pair is a new old stock off of eBay. I've got 3, 4, 5 pairs that I bought off of eBay, new, used. And I've got a couple pairs that I bought from Allen Edmonds directly. But let me show you the wear. You can see the ridges, the ridges on the Goodyear protective half soles when they're new. And of course there is wear, and it's wearing there, but it's still not worn through. I still don't need to change them. These things wear like iron. And they do a great job of protecting the shoe, because of course where I live they have snow and salt in the winter. So it's awesome. I mean, it's almost like the longer you wear them, the more comfortable they get. They do mold to the shape of your foot. If you've ever owned Allen Edmonds shoes, you know that. To me, they're far more comfortable than the Johnston Murphy Optimas that I've had, more comfortable than the Johnston Murphy what's the upper line, Aristocraft that I have. They're just awesome shoes. So this is built on the 65 last. If you don't know what that means, you can go to Allen Edmonds' website, I'll link it, but every shoe is built on a form. This is not a last, this is a shoe tree, but imagine something like this made of plastic and full solid. In other words, when they wrap the upper leather around, that's the last is what gives it its shape. So Allen Edmonds, the number 65 last, is a relatively long last with a very almond-shaped toe, and it does not have a super high instep. I have higher instep, so one of the disadvantages is, I get a fairly wide V like this. If I had a shoe that was a last that accommodated a higher instep, the V would close up more, which is preferable on an Oxford. But that being said, I am like a double E to triple E width. My right foot is wider than my left foot. Very, very comfortable. 11.5 triple E fits me very well. And I don't know what else to say about it, you know, as far as like a review. Oh, here's the heel wear. I have not put any heel tacks, heel cleats on them. And what you're really looking at here is on the outside corner, if you can see, I'll try to get in the light. Sorry, outside corner would be here. Do you see that line there, right above my finger? Okay. That's where you want to change the heel top lift before it hits that. Because once you hit that, there's a separate layer of rubber on Allen Edmonds heels. And then there's a very thin layer of rubber there, and then you'll get into the actual heel base. So if you can see where my finger is, that's the heel base. That line there is where the top lift ends. So I still have a little bit more wear before I need to change them. Okay. All right. So I don't know what else to tell you about these shoes. They're amazing. I hesitate to pay $395 or $425 for them. About every I'd say early October, end of September, like right now as I'm filming this, they have a big sale. So it's not unusual to be able to get an Allen Edmonds shoe like this in the range of $245. Father's Day sale during summer, I paid for my McNeil's $225. I think at that price they're an absolute bargain for what you get. Like I said, you get a shoe that 2 years later of wearing every week, you know, still looks new and fits you like a glove. And I can literally walk 8,000 steps in these, you know, in a day on pavement outside, and my feet feel wonderful at the end of the day. Love, love, love these shoes. They're awesome. Only thing that I'm embarrassed about, I guess I would say, with Allen Edmonds is I've seen a lot of quality control issues. If you want to see what my experience was, I did not have any major issues with these. With the McNeil's that I bought, I had to send them back and have a new sole and welt put on. So the only thing I could flaw these shoes for, one of them, the quarter was a little bit wrinkled, and now I can't even find it, so I guess it must not be that serious. If I can find it here, I'll show it to you. But anyway, let's get to the stripping of the shoes down. By the way, I do like to be transparent with you guys. I'll show you something something else I did to these, because do you see here on the outside of the left shoe, my ankle bone actually was getting close to this edge of the shoe. So one thing I did is I took these leather insoles, cheap leather insoles. They're like 10 bucks or 11 bucks that I got from Amazon, and I basically just cut it in half and I skived it, you know. So in other words, that's thinned down so you don't feel an abrupt, you know, change there. And I have another video. Didn't come out very well, but I did iron on, okay, a logo. And I slipped these in here, and what that does is it raises the heel height just a little bit, just enough. I punched those holes myself just for the fun of it. But it raises the heel height up just enough so my ankle bone doesn't touch there, so for whatever that's worth. The Saphir Renomat. Stuff's pretty smelly, you know, so I mean, you use it inside, I mean, that's your prerogative. I might even crack my door here to get some ventilation. I've got an outside door right next to my cobbling station, so. This bottle, the only thing I don't like about it, the bottle is very narrow and tall. It's very top heavy, so you just be careful with it. And I think I'm gonna start here in the front of the toes. You're gonna see it's really effective at pulling polish off. You see that? You guys wanna say hi to Riley? Hey, Rai, you going outside? I guess Riley's going outside. That's my dog, Riley. And where it's really thick here on the toe, it's not easy to get off. It's gonna take turning the rag really frequently, because then the rag itself gets loaded up and won't pull off any more polish. So this is gonna take a while. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on time lapse for you guys. shows you the difference. Either way, let me show you. I didn't show specifically some of the reasons. So where the vamp flexes, can you see there? You know, the mirror shine, the dark mirror shine cracks off. You know, you get that. If you look real closely, it has like a mottled, you know, like a black and red effect. I already started to strip it from here, but you see what I'm talking about, where the vamp flexes, it cracks off. And when the toe hits something, it'll also crack and spiderweb. So that's why I'm not, you know, moving away from having that much darkening from polish. You know, I'd rather have the darkening in the leather through dye. Okay, now I've got some acetone. I'm a little hesitant to use it. I'm trying not to use it, but I think I still need to. I got a Q-tip here, a bunch of Q-tips. I want to get down, you know, into the areas here near the broguing and stuff like that. And I'm hesitant. I'm just, I want to expose these shoes to as little as this kind of harsh treatment as necessary. I see guys do it all the time, but I know acetone can't be good for the shoes, you know. It can't be good for the leather. You see that? Definitely working. Okay, so I will be honest with you guys, that part with the acetone really made me nervous, just because I don't, like I said, I know that acetone isn't good for the leather, and I don't know what, you know, the effects of it are, I guess, if that makes sense, you know. So I was trying to expose these shoes to as little of it as possible, right? And I say that while you see me going over, because it looks glossy there. So to me, it looks like there's still more wax on that area of the shoe. That's why I'm doing this. But you see it changed the color. Some of it's even turned white. So this is the part that makes me the most nervous, you know. Not from the standpoint of it not taking color, but just what's the long-term effect of doing that on leather. So this is like my 6th or 7th shoe, you know, 6th or 7th time I've attempted a patina. So every time before this, I've only done it on a pair of shoes that if I ruined them, I would be okay with that, if that makes sense, you know. So this is the first time I'm ever doing a patina job on a pair of shoes of mine that I paid, you know, a substantial amount of money for, if that makes sense. Okay guys, so I think what I really want here today, show them to you here, So on the left is the dark red, on the right is the mahogany. There are other Fiebings leather dyes, this is just what I have. And I put a little bit of each one on the box. You can see the mahogany is really more of like a brown with a hint of red, and the dark red is, you know, really more what I want. I think I'm gonna use dark red and mix in a little black with it is the way I'm gonna go. Here's the little compressor I'm using. This stuff, I've used it in other videos. My father bought this air gun setup probably in the 1970s, I'm guessing. So I'm sure there's comparable stuff available today. Air gun models of Binks. I have no idea if they even make it anymore. definitely an improvement. I will say this, the color is a little darker than I intended across the toe. There's not as much of variation through here as I really wanted, but it's not bad. So there was this professional organizer, I think her name was Kimura, I could be wrong on that, but she was on Netflix, and she would go into these homes of people that were hoarders, and there was something really fascinating I learned from her. The way she got these people that were hoarders to figure out whether they should be throwing things away or keeping them was she would ask them this one simple question: does it bring you joy? So one thing I figured out is your subconscious mind is very powerful. You know, not so much thinking about things with your conscious mind. The feeling that I had, I guess, with these shoes, along that same lines of that question, does it bring you joy? The color just irritated me. It wasn't bad. You know, there's nothing wrong with it, you know, from Allen Edmonds. But I just wanted a darker, richer color, which I was trying to do with the polish, which is difficult because it flakes off and cracks, you know, and stuff, and it doesn't get in where it wrinkles very well. So from that standpoint, this is exactly what I wanted. Like I said, I wish there was a little more contrast in it, but let's continue on and see how it looks. So I've got here the Saphir, and this is the Renovateur. This is mink oil based conditioner, because obviously the alcohol can be pretty hard on it. And you guys should be pretty happy. Look at this, I got a brand new cloth for this, so that's pretty exciting, huh? And I'm pretty happy this time I didn't get a ridiculous amount of staining on my hands. Well, that's interesting. Even right there, look at that. That brings color out. That's more red than... Interesting. By the way, the shoes have been soaking... I shouldn't say soaking. The shoes have been sitting drying. I think they dried with the fan on in the garage for roughly, 3 hours. Now I'm a little bit afraid that I'm going to get this color in the jar. So I guess I probably better turn a little bit. Okay, this is interesting. So here's the cloth. A lot came off and came onto my fingers, so great, but oh well. And they changed color a little bit. I put more of the mink oil in the vamps, and it did take some of the color out, so I'm seeing some more color differentiation that I wanted. I do see a mistake here. It's okay though. Right there, I think there was probably some wax that I didn't get all the way off, so it kind of kept some of the stain from going in, but that's okay. I can cover that with polish. Next will be the Bordeaux Saphir cream polish, but first I'm going to brush these off. Okay, here they both are. First, base coat of polish on them. I'm going to do the mirror shine and the toe caps next. You still see that little bit of spot there, but that's okay. That's awesome. Now I'm happy. Okay, first I'm going to actually use, this is not the Mirror Gloss, this is Neutral Pate DeLuxe. This is, the hard, regular paste wax. And I'm going to put some of this, like on the vamp here. Set for a few minutes. And now the Saphir Mirror Gloss. So this is specially formulated to develop a mirror shine, and you just basically put it on the parts of the shoe that don't flex. So I'm not going to want to go on this part of the shoe as you saw before where it would flex, just on the areas of the shoe like the toe and the heel where there's a hard counter lining, so that's not going to flex. And this is going to take a little while to build up some layers. So this is like putting a clear coat on a paint job. If you've seen any of my other videos, I don't know, most of them, any shoe shine video I have, unless it's suede, I'm putting a mirror shine on the toes. So first coat, put on as thick as you can. See, we're going to start filling in those pores. Okay. And I'm going to let that set up. I'm going to do the other shoe. Water. Maybe too much. Light pressure here. I don't want to scrub the wax off. Coat number 2. Drop one. Getting there. And here they are all finished up. I'm very happy. There's color differentiation, there's some gradient on it. It's gradual, it's not a sharp contrast. It doesn't look like I stuck my toe in the mud. The mirror shine is good, not perfect. I'm kind of hit the point of diminishing returns on the mirror shine. If I keep going on it, I'm gonna, miss kids' bedtime and stuff like that's just gonna intrude into the family life too much. Not too shabby though, huh? Try and get a little bit of shot of the heels. I didn't do it on camera, but I did put some mirror gloss on the heels as well. Not as much as on the toes, but. What do you think? I know a lot of people say it's not worth it. There's not much of a difference, but to me, now this makes me feel good. This is what I wanted. This is the color I wanted. Okay. Thank you once again for watching. If you'd like to see some of my other videos, go to my channel. If you want to subscribe, you know what to do. All right, God bless and take care.